You can hear me?
We can hear you, Hoops, and I'm just getting started. Good morning, Web3 world, and welcome to the Web3 Warriors podcast. We are live with episode 3. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in today. We're really excited to have a cool conversation. It's our first Solana NFT project. We've got Hoops with us today. He's unable to get on video, but he's going to be sharing a lot of the plans behind his really cool NFT project called Metaverse Slam. And before we bring it to him, I just want to do a quick introduction of the show for anybody new to the show. My name is David Krome. I'm the host of the Web3 Warriors. I go by Krome in the Metaverse. And with the Web3 Warriors, we are really focused on breaking down kind of the power of the blockchain to really create a whole new layer of economic opportunity for creators. And really, we see it as kind of a new evolution in the creator economy, which many people know from YouTube or even any social media, Instagram. People can really create for themselves and become, their own business and create a community around, their creations on social media and YouTube. But now with NFTs, basically that whole opportunity is being taken to a new level where you can really create digital assets that are signed and certified by the creator and then sold to your community and to your collectors. So here at Web3 Warriors, we're really focusing on that aspect, but also the intersection between the metaverse and the Web3 blockchain functionality and the gaming space, which we see as a very huge opportunity and kind of a no-brainer because people in the gaming space have already been putting a lot of value into digital items and digital assets. So it's kind of, I really want to push people. That's why we're streaming this on Twitch. It's live on Twitch every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I'm hoping to pull in some more people from the Twitch community and the gaming community to really understand Web3 and the blockchain technology that it's kind of built upon, and to get rid of some of the FUD, and which means fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And I wanted to speak to that quickly before we head over to Hoops, who's going to share a lot more about his own NFT project on the Solana blockchain. But I've been hearing there's a viral video that has gone out lately. I'm just going to bring it up quickly on here. It's by Mr. Christopher Natsume. He's talking about explaining blockchain gaming and play to earn. I'm not going to play it on my podcast because I don't know what kind of issues that might present. But I found it really interesting. I watched the whole video, and he's a former or current even game developer, I think decades of experience in the industry. And he's very convinced that all Web3 and blockchain gaming is basically a scam. And while I see where he's coming from, especially when it comes to Axie Infinity and some of the fact that nobody really has fun playing the game and people pay other people to play the game for them and all this kind of stuff, it's an interesting, very interesting watch, and I would recommend anybody to actually go check it out, because I know I've got a lot of Web3 fans here, but I think it's important to see the flip side and to see where people who are kind of still foggy on the Web3 space are coming from, and they really just think that it's all just a big money grab, and they don't see the real community building angle of it. And so I'm hoping, if I can't actually get a hold of that gentleman for an actual conversation, which would be amazing for the podcast, I am going to do a bit of a reaction video and just kind of dissect it piece by piece. But the main issue I had with it is that he was kind of making the assumption that these NFT assets that are going to be used in gaming are going to be used in different games, and the whole point of it being in an NFT is so that you can take it from one game and use it in another game, the same digital asset. But that's just kind of a misunderstanding of the space. As I've been involved with a few, or I'm actually looking at a few different NFT or Web3 gaming developments that are underway, they all kind of use assets within their own universe, and they're trying to build up that universe so that those assets become more valuable. And the game itself doesn't have to be, not fun in order to want other people to like reward other people for playing it. Other people can put in many hours and find really cool, rare items, and maybe you just don't have that time, but you still like the game and you want that rare item. So you'll pay that person who just put in that amount of time to actually get that rare item. It doesn't mean that you don't want to play it. It just means you don't have the time. Anyway, so a very interesting conversation. And I'm going to recommend everybody go check it out. Web3 gaming is a pretty important part of what we're trying to focus on here at Web3 Warriors, because I see it as a really huge opportunity. But there is a lot of risk as well, and definitely high barrier to entry for some people. But in the long term, I do think it's going to decrease the barrier to entry. It'll be a little bit easier for people to get involved without spending a huge amount of money. But more importantly, it's going to be really rewarding for the creators in the space, which are, the foundation of the gaming industry as it is. And some people think they're compensated fairly already. A lot of other people don't. So this new Web3 space is going to allow for creators to really put their creations on the blockchain and build from scratch and be compensated for what they build. So we're looking at this conversation and this narrative and looking forward to kind of pushing that forward and hopefully being able to speak with some people who maybe don't have a clear understanding of what's ahead of us and what's going on in the Web3 and Metaverse blockchain space. So thank you for entertaining that with me. So as I've said, this podcast is very much focused on kind of the gaming and the metaverse angle, but also it's really important to kind of highlight the artists who have been building in this Web3 space, and the fact that digital art was kind of the first to really blow up as NFTs and be assigned, huge amounts of value, whether it was Beeple selling for millions or even just average artists who, were struggling to be found, being able to sell their works for hundreds or thousands of dollars on the blockchain, where they weren't finding, buyers before. So that's the story that we're looking to push. And that side of things really can't be a failure. It's not about the quick flip. It's not about expecting to 5x or 10x on your investment right away. It's really about seeing art that you like, seeing creators that you want to support, and purchasing their art. And in that sense, NFTs, it can't be a scam. It can't be a failure, because I'm literally just compensating another person for their amazing piece of artwork. So that's the side of the Web3 movement that we're really focused on. And we're trying to highlight artists and creators and developers from across the blockchain and really kind of speak to that side of things and the fact that it is immutable, and that all these things being built on the blockchain right now are not going to go away ever. And they're only going to be built upon. And while some projects may fail, other projects will continue to grow and expand, as we see with the Bored Ape Yacht Club, or we see with many other smaller NFT projects that are building out really cool communities. And we see some with like the Long Necky ladies and some kind of more, I would say, genuine kind of smaller communities that are built around ideals. Like with the Long Necky ladies and Nyla, she's really focused on helping young people get into the NFT space, young artists see the value in this space. So just another really cool project. So that's what we're about here, focusing on the Web3 space. And I'm really excited today to have Hoops with us from the Metaverse Slam project. He has chosen to mint their NFTs on the Solana blockchain, which is really cool and offers a little bit of more versatility and lower gas fees. But some would say it's not quite as decentralized. So we're going to get into why Hoops chose Solana. But maybe before that, I personally met Hoops in Clubhouse rooms going back to, I believe it was the Flying High crypto days, and talking, talking about basically just the basics of Bitcoin, Ethereum, like what are all these cryptocurrencies, what's their goal, and, are they worth it, and coming to the understanding that they were, and then learning about NFTs and the kind of revolutionary properties that NFTs bring to the digital space, and being able to actually own specific assets, whether it's digital land in the metaverse, whether it's a digital artwork, piece of art in the metaverse. So with Hoops' project, he's really kind of combining a lot of different things. He's got really amazing fire art. He's got a plan for an actual basketball tournament in the metaverse. So he's got some metaverse angle. He's got the gaming angle there. And he also comes from, like I was saying, that kind of flying high crypto and the Clubhouse onboarding space. And he's actually focused on helping kids understand crypto, which, as I've been saying, I think kids are going to understand crypto better than most adults, especially those who aren't familiar with the gaming space, because I really do think it's kind of the natural evolution of the gaming space, giving new value to these digital assets. So with that, Hoops, you're coming with a pretty cool resume. I wanted to start by maybe just asking you, like, what brought you to kind of Web3 and blockchain, and then we can kind of get into your project. But thanks for joining us, Hoops. Please introduce yourself and share your backstory and what brought you to Web3.
David, it's always a pleasure, man. Yeah, just for the fans, we've come a long way, man. I mean, it's been March when I first met you.
Yeah,
We were, onboarding people through Flying High Crypto, and you're a part of NFTs.Tips as well, doing some work there. I mean, man, it's just been that year has just flown by so fast, and here we are now. My putting this project out, but yeah, what brought me to Web3? I've been obviously a basketball player, coach for, my name is Michael Kennedy, by the way.
cool.
Hoops is what I go by on Clubhouse.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to share your full name. I'm cool with Hoops.
Yeah, that's fine. All good. And yeah, so basketball has all long been, it's what I've done my entire life. So, sports orientation. And then I traveled, played pro ball in Europe after leaving college. After playing on my university team, I played pro ball in Europe for quite a few years. And I wasn't the best student in school, but I picked up this little laptop while I was traveling through Europe and started, just messing around with a laptop, just something to do. I had some cash and I figured, hey, buy this little laptop, whatever, let's see what it brings to my ecosystem. Anyway, I got into Photoshop and Illustrator and, got into doing some digital art. So, and I was always a doodler. I always did a lot of drawing from growing up. And while I traveled, art was always a big part of my relaxation. In between games, art was a big part of my relaxation. So anyway, I was oriented in art for a while and then got into crypto when I started working in China as a coach in China at the professional level. So I bought my first Bitcoin there and got really into cryptocurrency. I was a crazy degen back then, back in 2016, 2017. I was chasing I was chasing HYIPs like all over the place, man. High yield investment platforms.
Wow.
Man, I was dropping ETH there, Bitcoin there, just trying to get those return. I was a madman. And so and all those, all that led to my being a lot more matured with my spending. I learned my lesson. I took took my losses. I got some winnings as well, but I really got more educated on the space and became a lot more mature about my movements in the space. But yeah, so with the basketball side of it and the crypto side of it, and then the NFT side of it, crypto punks back then and crypto kitties. I remember when crypto kitties was giving the Ethereum blockchain a run for its money, man. It was bogging down the system. The system was all congested. People were bitching about transactions.
I was going to say that must have been the first time they had really high gas fees. Crypto kitties blow up the network.
Man. Yeah, those days, sounds like it sounds like the what Solana is going through now, because all these new blockchains, when they go through they go through some changes.
Right.
They go up, they go down, they take some bumps and bruises, but then they kind of sort their situation out, and their evangelists are developed, and people love the platform, and people move with the platform. So Solana is kind of going through that right now. But yeah, so my worlds collided with NFTs because I'm a digital artist, I'm a basketball player, coach, and I've been into crypto for a while. And then when NFTs came around, I saw an opportunity to continue to help young men and women in basketball, because I didn't really. This project isn't about me. Most of the artists here, they're doing projects about themselves or their art. I'm not using my art here because I didn't think my art was good enough. I didn't think it had the bandwidth enough to satisfy the requirements I had for Metaverse Slam.
Right.
So what I did there, I basically I had been watching a lot of digital art videos, because YouTube University, and there was this one dude that I watched a lot, that I learned a lot from, and I actually collaborated with him on Metaverse Slam, our first character drop. He's the artist on that drop. So I had a chance to use who I consider the master because I'd been learning from him for so long. So he's the individual that's done the artwork for the first Kihei drop that you see here in our Metaverse Slam story, which is about 10 basketball players who got kidnapped, stolen from Earth, thrown into a portal into the metaverse to play a game that'll determine the fate of Earth. So that's basic premise of the story, and then from there, things will start going haywire.
Cool. So what's the artist's name, and is he just kind of cool with being in the background and just supporting your project in that way? Because I know a lot of the artists, like with projects, they generally put their artists up front, right, and be like, support this artist.
No, he's I put him. His name is Arthur Mitchell, and he actually just did his own drop. Fishbowl Head is Fishbowl Head Club is on. He just did his own drop.
Okay, cool.
And and I think it was pretty cool because he learned a lot about the degenerative space from doing the Kihei, our project,
right?
Because he had we had a developer. The developer that we worked with, took us through the fact that we needed categories with layers, and that sort of thing. And then from getting to understand that, he was able to put out his own collection. So he's promoting his own collection now. That's just a beautiful thing to see him.
Nice. And is he doing his on Ethereum, or is he doing it on Solana as well?
He's on Ethereum. He's on,
no doubt.
Yeah, he's on Ethereum. Yeah, he's on Ethereum. So that's pretty cool to see. Arthur Mitchell. We call him She World. He's all over YouTube. He's got like 500,000 followers. On Instagram, he's got like 300,000-400,000 followers. He ain't no joke.
Nice. Well, I could tell he's definitely got mad skills just by checking out this art.
Man, he's got mad skills, man.
Yeah. Do you have these listed on any Solana exchange yet? Like, can you go to Magic Eden or Solana Art and see them? No. Okay.
Not yet. Just the Metaverse Slam website where they can be minted, but we're working on that secondary market part of it right now. So,
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. I was just curious because I wanted to kind of see them side by side. So I know that's the nice thing about the market, but people have to list them to see them there anyway. So I think with your project, you might have one of those project people aren't going to be in a rush to list them. They're just holding on to it and want to be part of that Metaverse basketball tournament.
Yes, sir. That's what we're hoping, because this thing has depth and legs, because we're doing 10 players and we've only done one player so far. We have 9 more players to go. There's a gritty Canadian that's coming on board. He's about to sign the contract with us now. He's a street ball player. He's got over 500,000 followers himself across 2 platforms, nice. YouTube and Instagram. And he's that kind of baller. He's gritty. He's grimy. He talks a lot of shit. He's all that one-on-one stuff. He'll bust your ass and he'll tell you about it. He goes into neighborhoods where he don't belong and get into scraps. So he's real gritty, real grimy, and he markets. So he's gonna come in here with.
He's gonna have his own style.
Yeah.
Coming in with the gritty.
Yes, sir. So
that's interesting. So maybe I know you said you do a lot of work on the kids in crypto, and I think. Would you say that your work kind of helping kids understand crypto inspired you to kind of start this project? Because these are kind of kids too, right? Like they in first year of college or last year of high school kind of situation? These basketball players you're selecting from?
Exactly, because the youth have always, as a basketball coach, youth are a major part of my ecosystem because we do a lot of camps. I do a lot of development training, and when these colleges are recruiting, they're looking to find these kids when they're like 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, so they can follow them. So anyway, youth basketball has been a big part of the things that I've done. So once I got into crypto, educating the youth, it was just a natural transition as well, in educating the youth in the Web3 space, because it's education and it's needed. And the thing about kids going to college on scholarship, and they do need to understand this space. Basketball players need to understand this space. Athletes need to understand this space. So fortunately for me, as a basketball coach who have an understanding of this space, it's only in my best interest to educate these basketball players who are also young men and young women, the younger kids as well. So Kids in Crypto does speak to the younger generation. I mean, from 10 years old. I had my class this morning, and the exercise we did this morning, I had about 10 kids from South Africa, 5 from Canada. We had 4 from the UK, 1 from Italy, 1 from Spain, and there was a couple more Greek kids from Greece as well. So what we did this morning, I took $100 in Solana, and I took the first kids. I made sure they all, for homework, they all had to download their wallets and set up the seed phrases and their passwords, and then I transferred the Solana to the first kid, and he took $5, and then he transferred 95 to the next player. The next player, he took that player's that student's wallet address and transferred it. They would put it in the Zoom chat, and all the wallet addresses were, and they would take it, and they would and then it came right back around to me. The balance, $40-something, came back to me in my Solana wallet. So we created a chain of custody among these kids, and now they have $5 in their Solana, Soulflare, and Phantom wallet,
nice,
to mint their NFTs next week.
Yeah,
so
because
that
the
was
minting fee on
exercise we
Solana
did
is like
today.
next to nothing, isn't it?
Exactly. It's like fractions of a penny. So, unfortunately, we'd have to, fortunately for us, we'd have to think about gas fees on the Ethereum blockchain. So this was the perfect exercise for the Solana blockchain. So they had fun, and now these kids, I mean, they didn't even want to get off the session this morning. They were just so excited watching the one kid. He got $4.59, and it was like, it's $4.79 now. And then 3 minutes later, it was like, oh, it's $4.60 now. And these are the little kids in South
Yeah, it's
Africa, right? And it was
fluctuating.
just,
That's
yeah, it's just
awesome.
to see them so excited about this and getting ready to mint their NFT. So they're creating their art now. They're creating their artwork, and next week we'll get them minting. There's still a few that needs to get some Solana, so we'll work on that through the course of the
That's
week.
awesome, man. Yeah, you got to wonder when you hear stories like that, and the fact that there's people out there just kind of trying to get people away from blockchain. Meanwhile, you got these kids like 10 years old fully understanding how simple and easy and like why not, it's like
Exactly.
there's literally nothing. Yeah, it's exciting to see, because I think the technology, just like with any other technological revolution, when it comes up at first, people just kind of sleep on it. They think, oh, it's nothing, and before you know it, it's everywhere. And these kids you're educating are going to be the next frontier. I think you mentioned South Africa, and we got Triple T in the chat here. He's coming from South Africa, so shout out to SA.
Yeah, man. Shout out to those kids and the South Africans, man. It's awesome to watch these young people embrace this and get excited about it. I mean, they give me the fuel I need every weekend, man. They really do. Every time I get off that call, I'm so driven. It's like, okay, what am I going to work on now? It's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Because of their energy,
And their
It's
little
crazy,
creative minds.
man.
So now they have a week to come up with something to mint on Solana. And where are you guys going to be minting them? Like on Solana Art or?
Yeah, probably Solana Art. Probably Solana Art.
Right. So Solana Art is one of the Solana exchanges. I think it's the only one or one of two. I think SolSea might let you mint as well. Yeah. Right. So SolSea.io or SolanaArt.io are two Solana Metaverse, Solana exchanges, NFT exchanges. And then the one I like is Magic Eden. Although I don't think they allow you to mint. It's only for secondary sales.
Yeah.
But yeah, Magic Eden's a pretty cool Solana exchange as well. Very cool. So I have to ask then, why did you decide to go with Solana? Or have you been happy with that choice? Do you think it was worth it? Obviously, the lack of gas fees is the kind of no-brainer answer, but was there, more to it than just trying to save money for people?
Well, being that we're moderators on Clubhouse, I served in a community that had over 100 moderators, and our main interest was onboarding people in the crypto space. So we weren't really in the NFT space that much, because a lot of people that came onto Clubhouse came in because of NFTs, but we're in crypto, and we had been on board teaching people about blockchain and cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, so on and so forth, DeFi, that sort of thing. And then our community got involved in NFTs. So I bought into quite a few NFTs projects as well, but I watched a lot of our people struggle with the gas fees on. I think I own maybe 5 or 6 or 7 NFTs on the Ethereum blockchain.
Mm.
And I watched a lot of because I was doing Tezos too. I was jumping around quite a bit myself.
Nice.
Cardano, you know.
Oh, you got Cardano NFTs? I've been
Oh
wanting to
yeah,
grab one. I haven't yet.
My Rasta Punk was one of the first ones I bought on
Rasta
Cardano.
Punk. They have Rasta Punks on Ethereum too, though, don't they?
Yep, they sure do. And I got one of each. I got one from crypto Rasta, and then Rasta Punk. Nice. So I got one of each one from Ethereum and one from because I'm Jamaican, so
no
you know
doubt.
the Rasta.
No, I like those Rasta Punks. I almost grabbed one myself.
Yeah, man.
It's too many options, though. It's too many things, man. My list right now is silly. The amount of NFTs right? I've said I want to buy, and now I feel bad because I told their creators I want to buy them, but it's like I don't have all the Ethereum in the world.
Exactly, my brother. Exactly, and that's the thing, right? And you know, I saw our community aping on bought into a lot of projects, and then man, people are coming back to our club room, and they were like, man, I just spent $200-300 to get and gas fees to get this thing, and people were making some serious investments, spending $1,500 on an NFT and spending another $400 on gas, and it's like, you know, so I watched the community start struggling, and even myself, I think a couple of times I spent like $150 on gas fees. Anyway, man, you see that, and then Solana's solution was there, and it was getting better, and then we have a particular individual in Clubhouse that has his own community. And I mean, this guy's been a Solana.
Is that Mr. Solana is king? Is that who we're talking
about?
Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. And that's my developer. That's
homie.
The developer. And just the fact that these guys were really studying. I don't see anybody who really studies from the technical standpoint, such a technologist that's close to me anyway. And watching the things that this guy and his partner, Krome, does, I mean, it was just a natural fit because seeing the way that they were diving into that community and the solutions they were talking about interoperability before I even knew what interoperability was, and they were predicting it coming, you know, and how if things go wrong, you can put the thing in a container and move it to another blockchain, and that's that's like your insurance, right, from working on Solana. But then they were Arweave and we were just going. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Solana because my friends are here and they understand this blockchain and they're innovating. They're not just users; they're innovating stuff on this blockchain. So yeah, that's where I want to be, you know. But I have another project that's gonna probably drop on Ethereum too. I have respect for both, but right now I'm very focused on Solana because of low fees, quick transactions, and it's just a pretty cool ecosystem to help to be a part of the growth as well, you know.
Yeah. So low fees, quick transactions for sure. And how have you felt as far as like the onboarding feedback? Like, are there people that are more used to maybe collecting NFTs on Ethereum and OpenSea who had issues with this, or have you had any negative feedback, or you think it's been pretty smooth so far?
Well, there's been challenges. You know, there's been challenges along the way. The blockchain has hiccuped a couple times. But as I said earlier, you know, I was around when CryptoKitties was giving the Ethereum blockchain trouble as well back in the day. Ethereum blockchain is a lot more established now. It's got 4 or 5 years on Solana.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even compare the two. I compare the timeline. You know, I look at Solana now as what Ethereum was back in that day, and I can still see similarities. So, you know, with time, I see where Solana will be. The fact that it's scalable, it's, you know, the low gas fees and things of that nature, and the speed as well. You know,
sure.
So yeah, that's how I look at it. I don't compare what's going on now with Solana with what's going on now with Ethereum. No, I compare what's going on now with Solana with what was going on 5 years ago on the Ethereum blockchain.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I saw one of those trade analyst guys on YouTube kind of showing the charts with Solana and Ethereum. And yeah, I think it was a 3-year-old Ethereum chart or 4-year-old. And it was showing that the Solana chart is essentially mirroring like exactly what Ethereum was doing at that point. And I think with Solana, from what I gather, the only thing is the maintenance is like the costs are pretty high to like set up your own node and to help decentralize, you know, further decentralize their system. a little bit more cost intensive compared to setting up, or at least before, when Ethereum was first decentralizing and kind of expanding to all these different nodes. It was a lot cheaper, I guess. But now, like, as Solana, because that's always the big key, right, is which one is the most decentralized, because then it's like the vector for failure or attack is much lower. Like there's not as many options,
Right.
So it's not as weak, right? So I think with Bitcoin and then Ethereum being the first to allow real smart contracts, is definitely the most decentralized of kind of the smart contract NFT blockchains. But yeah, we've got Solana and you got Tezos trying to catch up and really developing in their own ways. And I think Solana is specifically seems to be developing a lot for the metaverse as well, because they have a lot of advantages with their Rust programming and with being able to connect with like Unreal Engine and maybe offer new layer of or new level of kind of metaverse integration. And what's the word? Yeah, just feeling like you're much more immersiveness. Yeah. So did your developers speak to that at all? And have you guys really hashed out any beginnings of the actual like basketball tournament in the metaverse idea as the kind of end goal, right? How do you see the roadmap leading to that point? Because I feel like you're still a ways away from the tournament going live.
Yeah. And my developers have dropped like 6 projects already under their umbrella. And actually, their gaming demo is out already.
Yeah, I think I saw Chris playing. I saw a video he had released of him playing his game there. It looked kind of cool.
Yeah. So they're developing a little more, and then I'm just in theory now, just putting the theory side of things together, and then once theirs get out a little bit more, then I think we'll work on my game. As we go forward. But yeah, it's coming because I'm in that ecosystem. I'm in that. I'm right here beside these guys who are into the gaming, and this is what we will do with Metaverse Slam as well. As soon as I continue working out the concept of it all, and how it's going to play out, and then I don't put that burden on that team because they're pretty busy already. So
no, for sure. I mean, I think you've got the creative engine, and they're helping you execute, right? So that's the ideal scenario when you have some reliable, developers who are in it for the right reasons.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hear some horror stories of people being kind of coaxed and pushed along by their developers, like, oh, you need like X amount of followers in the Discord, or it's all going to be a failure, or like, and I think you have to find the right developer for you and the right developer that kind of shares your vision and is able to work at your pace.
Exactly.
Sounds like you found that for sure.
Yeah, man. And because I've been knowing these guys for like 9 months now, I know, the guy they do technical analysis, it's just being in those rooms out the community. It's an awesome community to be a part of. And there's a lot of innovators, a lot of artists, a lot of developers, just people doing some pretty cool things, man. So to be around that collective, it's stimulating.
No doubt.
Very, very stimulating, man.
Well, that's what's inspired me to start this podcast, just hearing the conversations more from the artist and metaverse side of things, just never being able to really like get into the weeds of things. So now I'm able to at least just have a one-on-one conversation with these creators and really dive in a little bit deeper, because you hear about all these awesome projects on Clubhouse and it's so inspiring, but you feel like you just kind of graze the surface and then it's on to the next one, which is cool too, because it's just, you hear about a lot. But I want to take this opportunity to kind of look under the hood a little bit more. So you got how do you pronounce his name again? Kihei?
Kihei.
Yeah.
Kihei.
Okay, gotcha. Kihei.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit how you found Kihei as the first kind of athlete that you're featuring with the Metaverse Slam project, and now you're already talking about a second. I think I heard you on Clubhouse talking about trying to find a female as well. So like how are you assembling the team, and are you looking at basically doing a drop for each one of them, and how many of each are there going to be? So
awesome questions. I appreciate those questions. 3,333 NFTs for each player. Kihei is the first one out the gate. Kihei is a place for the University of Virginia. won the national championship 2 years ago. So you're talking crazy pedigree here. This is a national champion.
Nice.
University of Virginia, big ecosystems, have about 150,000, 200,000 followers across 3 platforms on social media, but very busy right now with trying to get his team back into the playoffs. And because this is the first year of the name, image, likeness that was granted to the players by the NCAA, when I went to college, I couldn't work outside of my basketball scholarship.
You couldn't even do something like this. You couldn't do a project like this.
No, not at all. Not at all. Couldn't do anything. Everything the scholarship took care of. There was no extra money coming in. If I had to take a girl on a date, I couldn't because I didn't have no money, right? But I could take her to the cafeteria and she could probably eat some food in the cafeteria because it was covered by my scholarship. So now, these players can monetize now. So NFTs, collectibles have long been a part of the athletes world. People always collect autographs and pictures with autograph and all these collectibles of these players. So it's just kind of natural that NFTs, being that it's digital collectibles as well, that it could definitely address monetizing opportunities for these players in Web3 space. So that's what I'm trying to do with Metaverse Slam and my NIL, which is the name of our company, our parent company, my NIL, my name, image, likeness. Because the basketball is not the only sport we will do. It's just right now it's my flagship project right now.
Right.
And because
you have a connection through a scout, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a lot of people scouting for me because I've been in the game for a while, so I'm trying to find. And my brother is a scout in the NBA as well, so he knows how to scout talent. So he's brought some NBA talent to the table already. We signed a couple. We've got about 2 or 3 NBA players that we've signed right now, and Kihei is still in college. And awesome. I'm signing some street ball players as well. And I'm trying to get a couple WNBA player. I'm going to get a couple players from China, so I'm kind of, because I worked in China and I have the national team players there. I'm trying to incorporate the Chinese community as well.
Nice.
So yeah, man. But the thing is followers, right? I'm looking for the players with the followers because they have to be hands-on because their projects, 3,333, it's pegged against their community. Now you have a community of over 150,000 followers. You should be able to sell out 3,333.
Yeah, but we know the Web3 hurdle is big, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, and that leads me back now to the educational material that I'm creating. And I think you saw me. I just posted that. Yeah, I'm creating all this because, but we're educators. That's what we did on Clubhouse, right? We were onboarding people into the crypto space. Education is what we focus on, so it's in my blood to educate. So now, and because I'm a graphic artist, a little animator, I'm using, animation to create educational content so that the players can post, these content, what's an NFT, how to set up a wallet, what's the blockchain, how much the NFT costs, why buy an NFT, what good is an NFT? Those are the type of questions and answers I'm animating for their community to educate the community, right? Further of Web3, and so that they can buy.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's a bit of an undertaking. I know I've heard of scenarios where, people who have millions of followers even on Instagram, and people even B or A-list celebrities jump into the NFT space, and without the proper kind of planning and just expecting that hundreds of thousands or millions of followers, all they need is like you said, a few thousand of them to jump over, get that MetaMask, and decide it's worth the purchase. But it's a big hurdle sometimes, and I do think that the biggest part is getting that individual push from the actual artist, right? Because I think or from the celebrity in this case, right? Like it's hard. In your case, I think this athlete obviously has much more important things at the moment to focus on, right? With their sports. But at the same time, nothing's going to work as well as hearing it from them kind of say, the provenance of this NFT and speak to that collector angle directly, as much as putting these education tidbits out is definitely helpful, and it shows that you're taking the time to really try to reach out to kind of new people who are not familiar with blockchain. I'm just sharing a bit of your educational video on the stream here so people can see the work you guys are putting into it. That's really cool though, and I like that you've at least considered that, and you are actively trying to have the education happen and show what the validity and why these NFTs have so much value and potential going into the future. So my NIL, sorry, can you say that again? My name and likeness?
Yeah, my name, image, likeness. Yes.
My name, image, and likeness. All right. So what are your kind of goals for that? It's basically like a brand of taking athletes onto the blockchain. Is that essentially what you're trying to do with that brand?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what that is for. Yeah, bringing the athletes, onboarding the athletes into Web3 space, because yes, it's cutting edge right now. It's new, and it's the space I play in. And I understand the space well, and there are opportunities here for these athletes. And yeah, I think we're positioned properly, because I also look at the fact that, and not just sports, but the NBA right now is being used to drive the Web3 narrative. The NBA right now is used to onboard a lot of people into the space. NBA Top Shot was the first.
Top Shot's been killing it. They were kind of the first before we were even hearing about the
exactly.
big blow ups. Top Shot was already killing it. Yeah, in like 2020, right? Is when they came out.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. And then you see FTX branded the Miami Sports Arena at the tune of $300 million. Crypto.com branded the LA Sports Arena at the tune of $700 million. I mean, these guys are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to brand these NBA sports arenas. And then you look at FTX also signed the University of Kentucky basketball team, and they're on Solana. They're already getting paid through debit cards to mint their NFTs on Solana. FTX sends them debit card, because a lot of these kids don't understand Web3,
right?
So they're not getting crypto. They're getting fiat, which is fine. And then you look at hair. Michael Jordan just raised like $13-15 million to do his hair coin, hair apparent, his hair coin on Solana blockchain. Yeah, Michael Jordan, him and his son, they're on Solana. And then Nike created an entire division to onboard the University of Oregon athletic department. Over 2,000 athletes they're looking to bring and a lot of that is going to be NFTs, in my opinion. Because Nike is forward thinking. Yeah, they're forward thinking, and they're about the youth as well. So so you see all this happening, man, and you see what's going on with the basketball, and there's so much more. I mean, Kobe, Shaq. You look at what Shaq is doing. Rest in peace, Kobe. Shaq. You look at what Shaq is doing. Stephen Curry. He's owns a Bored Ape. Dinwiddie runs
There's
around.
Quite a few NBA players, I think, now with Bored Apes.
At least 2 or 3 of them, Dinwiddie. Yeah, Dinwiddie, he plays for the Washington Wizards. He's got this Bored Ape on his shoe. There's a couple other players in the league that got him on their jerseys, on their shoes as well. So you see what's going on with Web3, and I mean, Baron Davis who's retired, but he's a producer. He's funding NFT projects left, right, and center.
Wow.
So yeah, the basketball players have really embraced. Dinwiddie is doing a show with CoinDesk. They have a show with CoinDesk.
Real money show, or is it an actual crypto show?
Crypto, straight up crypto show.
Wow.
Yep, and it's through and I watch it on Twitter quite a bit. So when you see all these things happening, man, I see basketball helping to drive the Web3 narrative. So I think our project is positioned properly. I zoom out a lot with my project. We haven't sold out Kihei's drop as yet, but it will sell. I think it's the first one out the door. I think as awareness, we're creating a lot more awareness, and as when he gets a little more time, he'll be able to pay, and he learns more, because the educational component of it is very important. Once people start understanding, makes a big difference. And he's starting to understand a little bit better himself, because he's starting to take a little more time now and then he has a little more time to dedicate as well. But basketball and going to school, it's very demanding.
For sure. And this is a young man looking to get to the NBA, right? So I mean, that's no slouch, like, whether or not he carries his team to a championship, he's got a lot on his hands if he wants to hit that end goal, right? But what's been his main feedback, or how did he respond when you first reached out to him about the NFT project, and what has his feedback been like since you guys launched and rolled out?
Well, nobody else has approached the kid. We were the only ones, right? So it was interesting for him to see that ex-athletes were reaching out to help him with his NIL project, with an NIL project to monetize. And then it was Web3 as well. So the fact that it was all so different and so new and nobody else was reaching out, and the possibilities that were there, he really liked that. We talked to the coaches, because we have a very good relationship with the coaches at UVA. We talked to the coaches. We as a matter of fact, one of the persons is a marketing director at Twitch who was in all our conversations with us. He's an ex-UVA. Anyway, I don't want to dox him too much, but anyway.
Nice.
So,
like give him a plug. Tell him to check out our podcast.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So, we had all these people that liked what we were trying to do, and they've been trying to help, and we did their podcast as well. So, yeah, everybody was just embracing it because it was new. And University of Virginia has a very conservative reputation, but now here we are bringing one of their players on Web3, one of the first ones in college on Web3. So it kind of put them into the forward-thinking space a little bit as well.
That's really cool. So they weren't even looking at Web3 at all, the UVA?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows what this thing is, but now they're starting to get, we've been doing some lives, and I've done a couple podcasts that speaks to that ecosystem. Yes. And, we've done some lives on Kihei's, and then I'm creating all this content that we're posting on his social media. So his followers, are getting a little more, the awareness is developing. And once the awareness gets there, yeah, this project's going to sell out. So I'm not worried about that part. It's just creating and then it paves the way, because we have two more players who are currently in the NBA from the University of Virginia who played on that team. So, we'll pave the way for all that, and we'll sell these projects out. But the thing is, the opportunity that the project gives us to educate new people. Yes, it's an arduous task, but somebody's got to do it. And it's a natural fit to what we're doing, because these NFTs are pegged against these players' ecosystem and their followers. They have these massive followings. How can we go market to somebody else when we got these followers that this resonate with, because it's their ecosystem, it's their NFTs. These are the followers that will buy this project because they understand these players. So yeah, we're marketing to those people. That's our core demographic that we're marketing to.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough target audience to try to pull on board, but at the same time, it's definitely better than the flip side of not having any audience to target with such precision. So
exactly,
that's really cool. Definitely keep us posted on how that goes. And it sounds like Kihei is just letting you kind of push out some key messaging through his big channels.
Yes, sir. And the thing about it is, these people, they're gonna, if they buy these NFTs, what do you think they're gonna do with them? They're gonna put them on the wall, on their frame, in their man caves, and so when they're not going to be thinking about selling.
Yeah. Just hodl it, show it off, especially if he gets to the NBA and playing for their favorite team. I got this back in his first year of college.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's really cool. I see the provenance there, and I think it's interesting because it kind of inspires the players too to be like, hey, like now my community's got a whole new way to buy in to my, success and kind of show that they believe in me, and maybe that helps kind of push them forward as well in their own interesting way. It's like Web3 motivation.
Exactly. Those people aren't going to be thinking about utility and what they get. No, they just want these They can put it on their wall. The first NFT in their wallets, they'll put that thing on their wall. It'll sit there forever because that's the kid who made the magical pass that got them into the Final Four.
No
That
doubt.
kid chased, and that's if we get licensing, that can be an airdrop. That pass, that magical pass of him running, getting the ball in the backcourt, and passing it back to Akite under the basket, who took a short jump shot, and they won the game. They got
By
into
1 point with that shot.
Yeah, well, it put them in overtime, and then they won.
Nice. Oh, that's solid, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and
I want to see that clip now. I want it delivered in Top Shot style. I want to unwrap it and look at it.
And exactly, so there's so much potential here, man, because that can be an airdrop. We get a licensing, that can be an airdrop to people who already own these NFTs. You know what I'm saying?
Most
so there's
definitely.
just so bit, because that's what Kihei did, and he was a freshman. So that's a timestamp moment, man. That's just so important. So yeah, these people buy his NFTs. They're not going to be trying to sell that thing. This kid is too key for them because he helped them take them to that Final Four and got them that championship.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So,
and maybe a bunch of other people who slept on it, once they realize the value, they'll want to come buy it, and then
right,
see what happens. Maybe they'll get a few on secondary or something.
Exactly. Maybe
if they're lucky. Yeah. So I'm looking at this Bitcoin
and
ring.
Thank you, man, because I know you own one, so appreciate you.
I do. That's true. Full disclosure. I got my own Kihei. It's pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the metaverse plans, and I want to see how the rest rolls out. I'm looking at this Bitcoin graphic that you have on here, talking about the portal tore his body apart, but the ring will make Kihei whole again. Can you tell a bit of the story behind this ring? It's really cool, well put together. I don't know, did you make that, or who made that for you? Is that your artist as well?
Jigar.
Oh, Jigar hooked that up. Wow.
Yes,
nice.
sir.
Dang.
Jigar. I told my creative direction, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jigar been delivering for me Jigar does some amazing work, man. So
beautiful.
Yeah, I saw that little lightning part because he did the ring first, and then I saw a lightning bolt with another project, and I was like, you know what, I want to add this to this. So I got back with him, and he was like, we've never done that before, but we can try. So him and his team, they tried it, and they were so this ring kind of pushed the envelope for them.
I like it. It looks dope.
Yeah.
And now you mentioned Jigar, I can see his expertise on there.
Yeah, man, because it at first there's a little lightning that kind of spark the turn. I don't know if you realize there's a little lightning that kind of hits it.
Right, the lightning hits it once, and then it goes faster, and then it starts going more.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So we got that. We hit the nail on the head. So yeah, the player needs to get the ring while he's in the portal, and then he'll become whole again. Now, is he going to still get through the metaverse, or is he going back to Earth? So there are some determining factors, but he does need to get the ring, and this ring will make him whole again. So the player is on a journey, even when he's in the portal and he's all over the place. He's got to get that ring, and then there's.
I picture it unfolding into some like Space Jam-esque, like facing some aliens from the metaverse in an epic tournament to save the world.
Yes, sir.
Maybe the guy overseeing the tournament has this ring, on the mantle. Yep. You got to win. You got to win to get your rings.
Have you seen the Overlord? Have you seen the image with the Overlord?
I don't think I have yet. No. Is it on your Twitter here?
It's on the Twitter. It should be. Yeah, it's on the Twitter. Just if you scroll, and the Overlord is from Chris. Is from Bitcoin. Is King. That's his Overlord, but I have derivative rights and I own it, so I can use it. So I'm using it.
Yeah, the blue guy, right?
Yeah,
I like those. I was looking at those too. They're like three Solana, right? I want one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't know if I missed the boat on that one yet, but I got to stack up some more Sol and grab one of those, man. That's a really cool project they're working on there.
Yeah, I think the Overlords have sold out, but there might be some other. I think the Overlords have sold out, but there was 500 of them, but I could be wrong. But yeah, here I am, interoperability, my brother, taking the derivative right that I was given from one project and using it in mine.
Right.
How cool is that?
That's dope. Yeah, it's this blue guy behind the Metaverse Slam poster, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's dope.
The Overlord. He's one of the overlords.
Nice.
You know, from Chris's, from their game, their story.
Yeah,
So
their cool project
yeah,
they're building out.
yeah, man, and that's like collaboration to the utmost, man. This is how we, this is how we collaborate. And I'm looking for more because I need background characters, and this is a background character that'll play a role in the story,
Mm.
right? But so I'm looking at other projects now that have aliens in it that I get derivative rights to, and I'll just throw that stuff into my story. It makes my job a lot easier. I don't have to go create that stuff. I can mint these, get the full derivative rights, and drop them in my story for my background. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's exciting, man. And like you say,
It
Solana's
is.
got a lot going on right now too, so there might be other projects to kind of integrate in that way.
Yeah, man.
It just
It's
has to be
fun,
one
man.
that offers derivative rights, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. As long as I get the derivative rights. And it just makes people feel better too when you use, when you're properly using their characters in your ecosystem.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to draw it and change it up. I'm using it as is in my story.
That's awesome. Yeah, it just speaks to how abundance, right? It's just about like, rather than this competition scarcity mindset, we're trying to collaborate and just build
Exactly.
together.
Exactly, my brother.
That's
Exactly.
what Web3 is about.
Here. Yeah. Man, that's what this is all about, man. Have some fun with this, man. So I'm looking at other mints now. I'm hunting, trying to find the right characters. I'm looking for some female warriors. I'm looking for, and that now makes me really want to mint other people's project because I'm minting with a purpose now, right?
No doubt. And with the intention, of course, it comes back around as well, right? And so the more you're buying people's art, people are looking at your art and your projects, and it's definitely dope, man. So man, it's really exciting to see what's going to happen with Kihei and then your other artists or other athletes that you're going to bring on board. Do you have any kind of closing pitch as far as what people should look forward to? And obviously they got to go to metaverseslam.io to mint their Kihei. But who's next in line, and when do you plan to kind of roll out episode 2? And is there going to be more kind of backstory being shared on the site?
Yeah. We have 2 players already signed, 3 players already signed, and those are NBA players now, very busy themselves. But there's a player that I'm getting ready to sign right now, and he's not in the NBA, he's not in college, he's a street baller, and he is grimy as they come. This kid, he is a warrior. He's a fighter, man. He's gonna come in here and talk all kind of shit. He don't care. He's and he's got like 500,000 followers across 2 platforms. So, and he's a marketer, and he's just gonna be fun to work with.
Nice.
I don't want to really drop his IG here right now.
Okay.
But I'll let you know that later on.
Yeah,
but,
let me know in the back channels. You don't got to announce it on the podcast.
Yeah, so you can check him out.
Well, that's
exciting, and he's a Canadian kid. He's a Canadian kid as well.
Oh, nice.
A kid that I trained in my program. Came up with my son. Is my son recommendation. My son was like, "Dad, you got to sign Kevon."
Cool. Is he from Toronto, or where is he?
Yeah, he's from Toronto.
Are you in Toronto right now, Hoops?
Yeah, Jaden. Yeah, I am.
Nice.
I am. Yeah, he's
First
a
person
Jaden
on my
Finch
podcast
kid.
joining from Canada. I like it.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, it's just having a lot of fun, D. Just having so much fun with this, man. And everybody should be out here. I don't know why everybody getting all kerfuffle and having hang-ups, and this dude trying to talk about play to earn as scam. Man, shut up and just have some fun. Start creating some games, man. What is wrong with these people, man?
Yeah, they just, they can't help but spread the fear, It's just a misunderstanding leading to a lot of fear. And it's technology, right? Technology disrupts, and that disrupting, gets people feeling some kind of way.
True. That is true, my brother. And I'm a little grown. I remember when when I was dialing up on the modem. I was playing ball in Israel
No
at the
doubt.
time. Back in the '94, I was playing basketball in Israel. I was trying to get on the web on Netscape browser, which was all text. I pulled the phone out the wall. Plug in the modem, sit there after practice. Trying to get online to discover something new, what's going on with the web. All that disruption. Mark Cuban was with, back then broadcast, was it broadcast.com? That was before he even, I was tuning into some of his video his videos online. I remember from way back when. Now look at Mark Cuban, owns the Dallas Mavericks, among other things, billionaire. And I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
it's like, I remember those days, man. People were, I was creating these little text browser web pages, trying to look, man. But
Yeah.
now it's more fun. Back then, it wasn't as fun as it is now. Now we're playing games, man. Now we're in the metaverse. Now we're doing NFTs. It's like, man, have some fun, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you can't go wrong if you're just compensating creators. That's the way I continue to say.
Oh,
Like
man.
you can't fail at supporting your favorite artist. There's no fail there.
No,
Best case scenario, the price goes up and you can sell it maybe down the road if you want to. But worst case scenario, you supported your artist that you like and you got some dope art. Like that's not a fail.
no.
That's awesome.
And it's only year one. Zoom out a little bit. Add a little bit
Exactly.
to the timeline. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're grown and you think something might happen to you, make sure your kid can inherit the thing and understand the Web3 and the wallet that you might have. Because you need people to have custody over your earnings, your assets as well, because this is Web3, and anything can happen.
Yeah, that's
I
for
make
sure.
sure I educate my son. I'm making sure that I educate my son about my assets or what I have in, my wallet, so on and so forth, because you need that. But I'm having
Yeah.
fun with this, man. I'm zooming out and I'm adding time. I'm adding time to the line. You can't just
No doubt.
micromanage the line, and get butt hurt because some people are being disruptive. No, just have some fun with the thing, man.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
that's the key. That's the key. I love it. And that should be a big takeaway for anyone. That's what this space is about. We're building together and we're having
Yeah.
fun as we build. So do you have any thoughts towards, obviously long term, you're looking at selling out 3,333 for each of these athletes. Have you thought about the potential of burning or having an issue where if you don't sell out, you want to create more scarcity, or are you just going to let it ride out and kind of let it be on each of the athletes to help push the sales? Again, to your point, you're zooming out and
Right.
looking at the long term. So is that not
Right.
something you're concerned about?
I think there'll be a lot of value for the token holders,
Mm,
even if these things don't really sell out or take some time.
yeah,
There'll be a lot more value for the token. But the thing is, this is a product for these young men to understand that they now have an amazing earning opportunity here. One that,
for
especially
sure.
for the kids in college, that's never had that before. All you have to do is just learn how to market your project. You got to understand the power of your community that you
Yeah.
have,
Eh,
and that community is there for you. All you have to do is just turn around and market to that community. It's not rocket science, right? Because they're there for you. They're following your basketball career, and if you're putting a product out there, I'm not sure out of a community of 500,000 people, if they understand exactly what to buy and how to buy it, they will support you. And this is an opportunity for you to also appeal to other companies. Because imagine a kid like Kihei putting a suit on, talking about his NFT, just strolling along campus, hugging it, giving his girlfriend a little hug, sitting on a couch at home, playing with his dog and his girlfriend, a little peck, talking about his NFT project and Web3. That a Nike looks at that and go, "Oh snap! This kid is marketing his project. He's put a suit on. He's in his living room with his girlfriend. He's having a good time. He's talking about NFTs, his own NFT project. I want that kid to be associated with my product. That's the kind of kid I want to market my product. Let's go give him a deal. And now he has another deal
no doubt. Yeah,
because
it's
he's
a it's key
considered
learning, right?
marketable.
It's just life lessons. And with that,
Exactly.
so is that a scenario where they actually have their own wallets kind of linked to the NFT? So like with each sale that goes, is there like a wallet assigned to their name that's getting that, or is it something you have to do kind of later on the back end? Is it an automatic thing?
Unfortunately, yeah, unfortunately, I have to do it right now, and I
Mm,
hate that part about it because the
right.
candy machine only allowed for one minting wallet.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know that about candy
unfortunately.
machines. These are the kind of things I like to find out under the hood,
And
you know?
that's what I was told, and that's what
Mm,
I was told. So, yeah. But then I send, I everything is transparent. I send everything, like we
oh,
paid the
for sure.
player
I mean,
some
you can't
money,
hide it
and
on the blockchain anyway, but it is nice if
yeah,
it can be automatically done. So, and just to clarify, Candy Machine
exactly
is the generative project tool that Solana uses, if I'm correct.
right.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's kind of the software that allows for the art to be generated, but also does the smart contract connection, right? Maybe you can
Right.
speak to that a little bit more. I only know a little bit.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, it basically does the generation and manages the smart contract. That's as technical as I can get with
Right.
it.
Okay, cool.
I, I do lean into my developers a lot myself. So
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, well, it's exciting because I think Solana is still growing when it comes to that kind of stuff, and
it is.
hopefully developers will keep pushing the envelope forward. Because I do think multiple wallets in a smart contract on the earning side,
Yep.
being able to
Yes,
break that
it's
down by
important.
percentage is definitely a key functionality on Ethereum. It's a pretty nice option to have.
It is.
So
It
that
is.
that
It
should be
is.
available. Should be
It is.
available on Solana.
It is. It is. But at the same time, too, the kid does need some hand holding.
Yeah, yeah.
We did send him some funds, and he was just beside himself. And the first thing is like, what do I do with this? I don't understand crypto. It's in my wallet. So we got to put that whole education piece around it, how to offboard taxes, the whole
Right.
taxes situation, get the family involved because yes, there's taxes, so the family has to be involved, and so yeah, man, it's a lot of education, man. But
No
I'm here
doubt.
for it, man. I'm here for it. I got the bandwidth, my brother. I got the bandwidth.
That's exciting, man. That's why I wanted to have you on the show because I really think both with what you're doing with crypto, kids in crypto, and helping kind of kids understand this blockchain technology because they're the future that are going to keep pushing mass adoption, right? So that's really cool. And then what you're doing with these athletes and really being able to kind of through the athletes try to reach out to their network and really onboarding masses is your goal through the athletic and basketball community. So that's really exciting, man. And just how are you feeling about that? And did you have anything else you wanted to add on the kids in crypto side and then what you've been doing on that space? And I also just want to pitch to the chat. If we have anybody in the chat with any questions, feel free to ask at this point. We'll be wrapping up in the next 10 or so. But yeah, how are things with the kids in crypto going? And what's your most rewarding kind of, what's the most rewarding thing you're doing in the Web3 space, I should say?
Yeah, the kids are always a big part, man. I mean, you remember when we were doing the proof of concept on Clubhouse with kids in crypto, and kids would come in, kids would go out, kids just from all over the place, man, and to
Yeah.
be able to still create a safe space for young people, it's awesome. I'm doing this and then I'm passing it off to the mothers because moms are more cut out for the education of the kids. I'm really creating a product that I want to pass to um, people who will do a better job of managing it than myself. And this is why I have Lori, my trusty partner, beside me. She's trying to get kids in crypto now in the school system in Atlanta. She's onboarded some teachers and principals and executives in that space. So we're trying to get more cryptocurrency education in the school in Atlanta, and there's a program that I'm with here in Canada as well, run by women. So I do the teaching and I do I create a lot of the content, and then I'm just gonna pass it off because I'm good at starting these things and then finding the right people to put it in their hands, the people who have the energy and the bandwidth to see this thing through to fruition. And
Mm.
that's really what I'm doing with the kids in crypto side of it, because I got my hands full with my own projects, and then it'll be the charity arm as well, because each of these drops are giving back 1% to kids in crypto, so that'll be a total of 10% from the entire franchise. That'll go to kids in crypto, and that money will be used to provide educational material for these kids, being phones and laptops, and hopefully can impact connectivity in some of their areas as well. That's once we start making some real money,
Yeah, no doubt.
But definitely looking to impact their educational ecosystem. They need equipment. Like some of the kids in South Africa now need equipment, so looking at getting some equipment there, from money that comes in from the percentage of the mints that come from Metaverse Slam project and other projects that'll fall under NIL. So I kind of created the charity arm first, and then now creating the product, and then the products will give a percentage to the kids in crypto, and then we'll go out and empower some kids,
That's
touching,
cool,
getting
man.
them equipment and so on and so forth. Yeah, man. So it feels good.
It's all connected, eh?
Yeah, man.
Congratulations, man. It's really impressive. So setting up the kids in crypto as kind of a charitable angle, and then the My NIL name, image, and likeness is your kind of more business side, and really trying to help these athletes essentially monetize, themselves and be able to build, basically do what the colleges have been doing around them the whole time, right? Basically making money off of them, and now being able to build their own, create
Right.
their own enterprise essentially. That's really cool. I hope you'll come back and keep us posted on how things are going. And Kihei can sell out his piece. And when's the next one launching? Do you have a timeline on that next dude when you're going to be dropping his NFT?
It could be sooner than later. I have a couple artists on board already. We might not use Chi for this. Chi is so busy, man. I brought him into Clubhouse. He got a bunch of work, and then he's got his own project. But there's some other artists, and I wanted to use different artists as well, so that the artwork gives our collectors more of a variety as well.
Yeah, I think it's good to have a variety, and maybe you can put a female artist and do that
Exactly.
kind of thing too. Yeah.
And I have a female artist doing some crazy work right now on for the website. So look out for that soon. She's getting it all together. She's from India as well. Real dope work she does. So she's putting together the images for the game, with the court, and also going through the getting kidnapped. Getting kidnapped from Earth. So she's putting those 2-3 pieces together. It's going to be dope, man.
Kind of
and
scenes,
website
right?
will change a bit as well to reflect more of a competitive nature, and more of the what the utility is as far as getting through the portal, and the rewards for token holders and that sort of thing. So yeah, man, we're ramping up.
That's exciting, man. That's exciting. So you mentioned a couple other projects. Do you want to share anything else with us that you have going on in the Web3 space before we wrap things up?
Right now, this is my main focus right now. I'm just glad to be associated with quite a few other projects, that's teaching me some things. But yeah, Metaverse Slam is really my core focus right now, and the educational component that goes along with that, because I have to create the educational material for the onboarding of all these normies that really don't understand anything about our space, but they're anxious to learn. So yeah, man.
That's awesome. You keep doing the good work, man. You're onboarding masses, and you got the kids, you got the athletes on board. Basketball is a huge enterprise. Like you said, NBA is clearly fully embracing blockchain and really NFTs specifically. So I think it's a made-in market that's just waiting to blow up and really be the first to maybe take that sports collectible angle to that next level, which they're already doing with Top Shot, but being able to see, individual athletes really take advantage. That's going to be really exciting, especially the young athletes. So what you're doing is really amazing, man. So congratulations again, Hoops, and thanks again for joining us. One final wrap-up question that I always ask every one of our guests. What do you say to the creators out there, the artists out there, hearing about NFTs, hearing about Web3, maybe even game developers, but for whatever reason are just hesitant to jump in, and maybe they're believing the fear, uncertainty, and doubt being spread around there, or maybe they just think it's a very big undertaking and aren't ready to jump in. What do you say to those creators that are considering jumping into Web3?
Oh, just jump in, man. I mean, we have to realize we're on the cutting edge, and we're all discovering here, and then again, that goes to show too, but this is not for everybody. Not everybody can handle being on the cutting edge. Not everybody wants to be on the cutting edge. Some people wants to sit back in the cut and wait and see what happens, and then they let us take all the risks, and then they come in behind. But those people might end up being the consumers.
Right.
I like to be on the cutting edge. I've always been on the cutting edge. I'm very comfortable on the cutting edge. I was like that back in the '94 when the internet just started, and I missed a few things. And I'm making sure I don't miss these things now. I'm making sure I don't miss them now.
That's it.
Being on the cutting edge is where it's at. I think artists should take that steps. It's not everybody has the bandwidth for that. If it's not for you, it's not for you. Follow up, come in and be a consumer later on. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's a fun time to be a part, pushing the envelope, moving the needle, helping the space to develop, taking a position, because it's just a lot of fun. And it's very creative as compared to back in '94. That was very text-based, boring.
right.
But now we have all this exciting gaming and NFTs, and it's just a awesome time to be alive in this space, man.
Yeah.
So I'll say jump in. If it's not for you, stay in the cut, man. Get out of our way, because we ain't slowing down.
Low risk, low reward, right?
Low risk, low reward. Thank you, my brother.
That's it. All right. Well, I appreciate you, Hoops. This has been a really eye-opening conversation. I definitely think more people should look into the Solana blockchain as well. As we mentioned, it's kind of still in that earlier phase, maybe where Ethereum was 3 years ago. But all the more reason to kind of understand what's happening and see the potential there. So thanks for being our first Solana blockchain project that we featured. Definitely keep us posted. We look forward to hearing about episode 2 and your next athletes dropping. And I think with no questions from the chat, we're going to wind down the podcast here. Any last thoughts there, Hoops, before we wrap it?
All good. All good, David. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your show. Appreciate the space. I'll definitely be tuning in more now that I'm aware. And this is awesome for you to have this show from now. I can see you in 2 years, 3 years, my brother. This podcast will be an amazing podcast because it's gonna have pedigree and legacy attached to it.
I love it. That's the goal, man. Yeah. You're reading my mind. It's all about capturing these stories, capturing exactly that pedigree, that these moments in time on the blockchain, and being able to speak to you awesome creators and what's happening right now, because there's never going to be another time like this. Like you said, we're at the cutting edge. So all right, Hoops.
Won't be another time like this. Will not be another time like this, man. So thanks again, man. Appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. All right, man. We'll be in touch. I'm sure I'll see you around those clubhouse streets. Until next time, we'll be live again next Saturday with, I believe I'm going to have Mad Bull Liz from Hong Kong. I know I haven't had enough female creators on the show yet, so we're definitely going to make amends for that and have some dope female artists coming through, and looking forward to it. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in. This will be live on YouTube and Spotify by tomorrow. Definitely share it around and follow us on Twitch at Web3 Warriors, as we're building our community there as well. And anyone can join in the Discord as well. So thanks again. We'll be live next Saturday. Until next time, peace out, everybody.